Spawning in the bottom left in the blue. He's named from Alpha X. You know him. You love him. It's Astrea. His opponent in the upper right in the gold. The Taltaran for Storm. He's GUMIHO. And the question now is what is happening here? Again, Astrea is on even ping with GUMIHO. GUMIHO is in Korea, and Astrea moved back to Korea 3 days ago. Wait, when are the GSL qualifiers? It's a very good question. I know, right? I guess it's GSL finals hangover? Sometimes this happens, like after a big tournament, no one signs up for Korea. And I'm not totally sure why. Do we know? The question though is, do we know when GSL Season 2 qualifiers are? Qualifiers are going to be end of the month. Okay. Sorry about that bad observing. I was looking it up. So Astrea will be able to attempt to qualify for the GSL. That's actually pretty sick. Not even from just a, wow, I want to see Astrea do well. And not even that I just want to see him enter the hyperbolic time chamber of the Korean ladder. Although I imagine that is less true than it once was. But foreigners playing in the GSL is actually really good for the GSL. It is pretty damn nice in terms of their metrics. On days when foreigners play, it does tend to be, again, they get better numbers. So it's good for the GSL, it's good for us. It's good for everyone. Okay, so now the Reaper of GUMIHO is going to find out that, oh, okay, things exist. That's fun. And also, Catch the Knife, thanks so much for the follow. I don't know why my Stream Elements overlay is deciding that it doesn't want to let me know about it, but I see you. Thank you for the follow. Although, your name is something that we all have to remember with the state of the stock market as it is. Don't try to catch that falling knife. Don't do it. Falling knife has no handle. Let's see. In this game, Astrea, Stargate as the opener. 1-1-1 coming in from GUMIHO. His natural is going to be rather delayed. There's that notification. Fantastic. Because he has gone for a high ground command center. In fact, this is a third base after a factory, so it is going to be an aggressive option here. Probably Banshees, because his name is GUMIHO, and there we go. Banshee Cloak is on the way. GUMIHO does GUMIHO things. It's not something a lot of people do, but it's certainly going to be enough to throw Astrea off guard. Outside of the fact that his Robo is on the way, and there's already Phoenixes in production. Phoenix in production if we want to properly decline it, because we are all scholars of StarCraft. It is there we go. First kill of the game. First blood. Goes to the blue Protoss player. Okay, by the time the Banshee shows up, realistically, there should be, well, there will be Phoenix, but there should be an observer as well. Yeah, Astrea scouts the entire thing, so we may even see Cloak get canceled, to be totally honest, just because this has been scattered out. It's like, well, okay, it's not going to get much value. I might as well go and get some of my money back. But it's also so far along that I guess that's not going to be the tale that GUMIHO wishes to tell, but he's going to go aggressive with this. It's not just, hey, let me build some Banshees and get harassment. No, he's got, what is this, 8 Marines, 7 Marines, and a Cyclone. Looking to run across the map here, find some value, maybe cancel a third base. And considering Astrea really only has Phoenix, he's got 3 Phoenix, 3 Adepts. And that's about it. It does become problematic, although, of course, the Phoenix can lift that up, cancel it out. Going to be fine there. And hey, more trees. Thanks so much for the follow here. What are we at? We're at 3 Phoenix. I'm surprised we're not seeing them pumped even more, as, again, Phoenix are a strong defensive utility, specifically for games like this. But unfortunately, a couple of Adepts will die in the middle of the map. I mean, it's a good scout. It lets him know what's coming, what's happening. But you got to be careful. You do not want to lose a single Phoenix. They are by far the most important components of this ult. But for now, okay, so, there we go. We're going to see the Robo get targeted down here. Banshee's trying to do what it can, but of course there is detection. The Cloak doesn't really do all that much. Scan to try to find the Observer, successful in doing so. And is there a second? There is not. This Banshee is uncontested. Immortal's going to go down here as well. I said it was going to look good for Astrea. He was going to be able to take advantage of even ping, but even ping is not a strategic necessity. It is just a mechanical necessity. And GUMIHO, he slaps him with the strategy. Game 1 goes the way of the Taltaran. Well, no. Corn muscles, that's not quite true. Remember, I'm Frodo, right? I'm not a wizard. A wizard arrives precisely when they mean to. But a hobbit does not. A hobbit arrives when the food is ready. I don't know, that fell apart. It's fine. Well, we already had breakfast, 11Z's lunch. The EPT, or the DreamHack qualifiers cast, was, I guess, supper. Now it's time for dinner. EPT Korea, which is, again, it's kind of a small tournament today. Only 15 players signed up, or 16 players signed up, only 15 players checked in. So Solar actually got a direct seed into round 2. Hello, Foshers. Hey, Hamza, thank you so much for the sub. A Prime Gaming sub. I do appreciate it. Glad you enjoy what I'm doing enough to grace me with that. Really do appreciate that. And for whatever reason, notifications are being really slow today. Thank you. Thank you, Stream Elements, for doing such incredible work. And I mean, in fairness, they are. I guess I imagine more than anything else is the Twitch API serving calls slowly. And that's not something you can ever worry about. That's not something you can ever really deal with. But what do we got here in this game? It is going to be a less aggressive opener coming in from the Taltaran. He has a natural, well, I guess this was still after the factory, so never mind, but at least he's going to get it on the low ground. But already 2 Reapers is a bit weird, and getting 2 Reapers like this, it's non-standard. I mean, if you are special, you'll do it, maybe. If you are a Dolan or someone, you know, one of those North American crazies, you'll do it. But people on an A, they don't play StarCraft, they play Madness. It just happens to be played in the same engine. There we go. There's the notification. So again, Ahimsa, thank you. But now 2 Reapers of Hellion, they're going to dive on the high ground. There is a single Adept looking to keep Astrea safe, as Astrea is getting punished, or at least it feels like he's getting punished for his greed in this series. But Reaper goes down, Hellion goes down, only 1 Adept dies, so he doesn't find the mineral line, doesn't really do much more than killing an Adept. So GUMIHO, he's going to be not unhappy with that necessarily, but it's certainly not the value that he was looking for. Reaper in the main base now, but Stalker can rotate to deal with this fairly quickly. The big deal, it's a scout. Says, okay, there's a chrono on that Twilight. Most likely this will be Blink. 99 games out of 100, this will be Blink. So, the question now is, how many gateways have you got in Astrea? And the answer right now is 2. So it's going to be 2-gate Blink Expand from Astrea on Curious Minds. And Astrea, much like a lot of foreign players, or foreign Protoss, he seems to be lacking maybe a little bit in the early game. I mean, Showtime is the obvious exception, but seems to be lacking just a little, small bit, smidgen in the early game. But late game play is superb. Astrea is one of these players that has been pushing forward to the carrier transition, or the Sky Toss against Terran transition pretty heavily. And then we can see Reaper had Cyclone. Okay, gonna drop in the main base. Meanwhile, 4 Marines in a medevac. I mean, this is just kitchen sink. This is really weird from GUMIHO, but if it finds value, it's gonna be worthwhile. So what do we got? 2 workers died? Yeah, 1 worker died. But, I mean, you don't lose any Marines, you don't lose a Cyclone, you're going to be fine. Still, though, GUMIHO is just, he's trying to confuse us, is what's happening. He says, well, what if I just, like, get a Cyclone and 4 Marines, and I move out of the map because I have it, kind of it defensively anyways, and Astrea is playing defensively as well. So, I'm just going to do that, and maybe I get a probe. Maybe I make it worthwhile. If not, it's not the biggest deals. But now the Stalker is getting active on the map. It's only 4. Ooh, medevac. They're not going to get that one. Are they going to get anything? That's actually a question. 1 Stalker getting rather low here. They're going to get the Cyclone. Always going to be nice. Marines, again, any sort of energy they get on the medevac is going to be delicious as well. But this is a weird push. Again, we're talking about weird stuff. There is no sim. There are no combat shields. It is just tanks and mech units. Astrea still has to give this its absolute due diligence, but the bio's not scary. It is the tanks that are scary, and if Astrea can just jump on top of them, he will be... Well, I guess the Vikings as well are kind of terrifying against all these stalkers. But let's see. Disruptor on the way pretty damn quickly here. Gateway will go down, leading us with one gateway. Not a lot of production from Astrea right now. We're going to have to see Shield Battery Overcharge get popped to keep the Robo alive. But even still, it's getting rather low. Stalkers, they don't want to go low ground just yet. Looking for that Disruptor to just at least put damage on the tank. And there we go. Disruptor shot going down. GUMIHO, does he have the splits? No, he just has the pickups, and that's going to be just as good. But a Viking does fall, and this Robo is going to go down now. I don't think there's much Astrea can do to stop it unless he wants to be taking the fight right here. Stalkers blink on in. He needed to see the splits, though, so the tanks just don't kill them. We're going to see them one go down, two go down. Immortal's starting to fall, getting back up the high ground, but it goes down here. Still, the tanks are dead, and there is no upgrades for these Marines. Medevac goes down as well, so Astrea, he's in a good spot. He can play a ring around the Rosie. This push from GUMIHO is going to get knocked down, really at the expense of an Immortal, a couple Stalkers, and production. Production is the biggest thing. Ooh, the Observer gets out. Folks, I think we should nerf Observers. So often do the Terrans scan where an Observer is and just barely does it get out of range of the scan before it dies. And this is incredibly frustrating for the Terran. Now, I don't believe that Observer, the speed at which they traverse the map is imbalanced whatsoever, but it's frustrating. And therefore, Terran should not be frustrated. And therefore, we should nerf Observer speed just a little bit. Which, by the way, is like the worst or best, I'm not sure which, justification for a balance change that I've ever seen. Because they did do that. They nerfed Observers, and they said, yeah, you know, it's because Terrans get frustrated when Observers just barely get out of scan range. It's like, that is not a good justification, my friends. That is not the way you want to balance this game. But, you know, whatever. I don't really think it changed balance all that much one way or the other, so I can't really get mad about it. But GUMIHO's third base is just about done. That early push, one of the benefits is you do get a third base behind it. So instead of starting a third base at 7:30, it's just about done at 8 minutes. Stim Comet Shield's on the way, +1 done. You know, the laundry list of Terran upgrades all ready to complete. But because Astrea really didn't take that much damage, he's going to be able to lose a bunch of Stalkers. There we go. Run away, please, Astrea. You don't want that one. You don't want that smoke, but it's just a bait on the backside. Oh, my GUMIHO. GUMIHO! We see the scan saying, where was that Disruptor? I didn't see it. But he's not going to see it at all. That was all the wind out of the sails of that push from GUMIHO. They're all gone. They've luffed. This army from GUMIHO will get nothing done here. He just lost all of his bio. It was like 15 Marines, 3 Marauders. I thought GUMIHO was paying attention. I thought he was going to get it, but he just, around the corner, the bait from Astrea was masterful. And now it's his turn to get aggressive. I mean, there are 3 tanks. I don't know how much he's going to be able to get done without a Warp Prism. But Stark's playing forward. They can say 1 tank goes down, 2nd tank goes down here as well. There's only 1 Colossus, though, so with the amount of Marauders here, it's a little bit scary, but there's a 2nd Colossus now joining up. Nice force fields only to keep the army away. Does not segment it off, though. So that does mean that, well, it's not like Astrea got half the army in force fields and was able to kill off a bunch of stuff. And now Starkers run forward, looking for a Viking. Will be unsuccessful in that endeavor, and the Observer goes down again, folks. I think we should nerf the Observer anyways, because that's the meme. But Astrea's going to back up. He's got his 4th base mining. He's not double gas on it yet, but that's fine. He's double forge here. He is going to continue to grow in this game, and it's not like GUMIHO is going to be able to do much of anything for quite a while. Now, it's good that he got his armories. Too often, far too often, do we see Terran players go and say, yeah, I'm just going to stick at 1-1. I'm never going to get my armory. I'm never going to get my upgrades. And in all fairness to GUMIHO, I mean, this is a style where you do get double eBays and you do go into 2-2 and you do that because your late game powering is your early game pressure really didn't work. But also you bought it yourself. Astrea has so much time on the map right now. He's got a 5th base on the way, halfway done. The Strap is going to find it, but it is 3 Marauders, 2 Marines. Astrea should be able to react to that one in time. Got to run the Zealots away, though. Yeah, this is not going to get much of anything. Stark's blink forward, trying to pair off a Marine or so, and maybe even a Marauder. That'd be nice, you know, give him a gift. There we go. Stock blink forward. Marauder goes down. I mean, you want to get the medevacs too. I don't know Astrea gets that one, but his army is fully rotated over to the right side. Zealous on the left looking for an opportunity to run by. But GUMIHO owns the spot, and he says, ah, yes, those are the Zealots that were such a thorn in my side earlier on. There's going to be free 20 supply. When am I going to stream my bodybuilding competition? I'm not a bodybuilder, so ever? Okay, so Astrea, though, he's got a big warp into the main base. Second round of the warp in as well, and they're not going to get on top of this warp prism, so this is a bit of a problem here for GUMIHO. I mean, SimCity is always going to go in his favor, but on equal upgrades, these Zealots, they can do pretty damn well for themselves. Just really trading army for army, but what it is doing more than anything else, it's buying time. Astrea has an opportunity to move on in. Stark's pulling forward. That may have been a bit of a mistake, though. 3 Colossus, they're doing what they can. Disruptor shot, just GUMIHO have the splits. It looks like he does for this fight, but the Colossus, they're still firing strong. SCVs are getting pulled. 2 Colossus recalled. One just runs away. That seems like a bit of a mistake here. Disruptor is going to go down as well. Stalker's blink forward, and it's not going to find much of anything. Bit of a clumsy engage from Astrea, not going to lie. I mean, I'm a big Astrea fan, and that shot from the Disruptor made my week. But that ain't it, Chief. That was a bit odd. Anyway, Stalker's going to run on forward. Now, tanks, though, they're going to siege up. They say, no, this is my high ground. You do not get to occupy it. As a 3rd Colossus on the way once again. Astrea wants that magical number. Archons as well tells you that he is planning on taking a fight. You add Archons, they are not just there to look pretty. And in fairness, in Legacy of the Void, especially with some of the different skins, Archons are beautiful units, especially at max graphics. But that's not why they are here. Their job is to soak damage. Their job is to really bully the Terran player back. But look at this. We got a little bit of an awkward position here. Does GUMIHO look to take the 5th base? Probably not. He's only on 3. And his 4th base was canceled. So he understands that he cannot trade a base for a base here. Astrea's still going to be on 4 bases. Still going to be fine economically. But if he loses this 3rd, that is truly GG for our Scythe Storm Terran. So he has to rotate back. He has to go deal with the Zealots. And that just buys Astrea time to pin GUMIHO back at home. He's been trying to find a way to do that for a while now. And now this is going to be his opportunity. Zealots coming in from the north and the south, but actually these Zealots on the backside, they're going to go in the mineral line. That's not all that great. It's a big concave. In fact, the disruption shot's not really going to land. Vikings, they're knocking down these Colossus. This is not a fight for Astrea, not at all. But the Zealots on the backside, they're doing what the army at the front side could not. The Colossus are dead, but it is just gateway man from here on out because the army of GUMIHO is falling apart. Vikings are going to do what they can, and yeah, sure, they kill Stalkers decently well, but they do not kill Zealots. And the run by the reinforcement values, and they find their way on in. Astrea, he ties it up. Man, you talk about the Korea power-up. I just think back to when Scarlet went to Korea for like 6 months back in 2013. Hey, no to Casa. I'm not sure what I said 2 minutes ago. That has you. Well, I'm not sure what you're responding to, but hey, I'm glad you understand whatever I said. There we go. Silently dancing. I genuinely don't know, but that's fine. We live in the present. Let's see. So GUMIHO is gone. He's gone. Barracks Factory Command Center. 2 games in a row. It worked out for him once with a really weird pressure build against Stargate, and it didn't work out for him once as well. And again, we're going to see the same thing in game number 3, which kind of makes me sad in that it just, regardless of who wins, it just makes it a little bit less likely that we're going to see this insane late game. You know, this 25-minute beat him up, slap him down, slobber knocker of a game. Although it has been brought to my attention that I'm using the word slobber knocker too much. So, slobber knocker haters, I do apologize, but it's still a fun word. So the question is, what variation of this build does GUMIHO go for in game 1 or in game 3? Game 1, we saw Marines and Cyclones and all this funky stuff. Game 2, GUMIHO went for a more standard kind of tank push. No stim, no combat shields, just Marines and 3 tanks and tried to knock things down. But Astrea held, and he built himself up and built himself up. And expanded everywhere and developed his economy. And even if his fights were rather clunky outside of the one bait with the Disruptor, which was beautiful, it didn't matter because he just had stuff. And, you know, as they say, folks, more stuff does beat less stuff. And another way to say that, of course, I guess, is, you know, they say size does matter, but it's also how you use it. How do you use that great girthy supply? Very good question. How skillful are you at pinpointing your opponent's weaknesses with all that supply? But also the supply itself is important. As GUMIHO here looking to get a little aggressive. He's got 3 Reapers to do Hellions. He's going to try to bump the Adept out of the wall, and he should be successful in that one. They're going to look to dive in, actually, but there we go. We're going to have a lift on... What are we going to lift? We're going to lift anything. Are we going to lift anything, Astrea? Please, you have a Phoenix here. You can at least prevent some of the damage from happening, but it looks like he says, no, I just rather have my Phoenix sit here. This does have a lift. He's just not choosing to do anything with it. Now he lifts something, and that's fine. More and more Phoenix are on the way, of course, but this is an entire mineral line that has been wiped out, and this one Reaper still has the damage. No probes are damaged, so it should be fine, and this should just get lifted up. Finally, it's going to go down. That was 14 probes. Hello there, JBean76. Thank you for the follow. Zine56. And Reaper finds his way on the main base here. Folks, I had hoped for a nice, long, good game. But I fear that Astrea may just be dead here. That pressure early on is not good. It didn't work. Sorry, it did work. It did not work for Astrea. So it's not even like this is a build where he has a big counterpunch available. It's not a build with a lot of comeback potential. Phoenix play is meant to keep you safe from shenanigans like this. And if you're not kept safe, then it really does fall behind. So Astrea, I mean, he can dive in. Yeah, look, he kills an SCV. He's only up 1 SCV 5 minutes into this. He's only up 1 worker 5 minutes into this game. Yeah, he's going to have a third base soon, but the economic problems that Astrea is dealing with are one that really will take forever to heal. Notice he has no tech. He has a robo, sure, he's not building anything out of it. He's just building as many Phoenix as he can, and the off chance that he has some opportunity to just maybe find some value. But GUMIHO is not going to let him find that. We already have a Raven trying to dive into the main base as the Phoenix are on the other side. Now, Astrea runs them... No, he doesn't even run them home. Thought he saw that. This Raven is going to get a shot of turrets down, and if GUMIHO does the smart thing, he's going to drop it on both sides of the middle line. Astrea's just not reacting. It's kind of funny. 2 workers do go down there. It feels like... There we go, another auto turret. Astrea reacts a little bit faster that time. It feels like the way Astrea is playing, it almost feels like he's playing on ping still. I'm just seeing lots of things where they're just a slightly too late, or maybe an input was dropped. But he's in Korea now. I mean, yeah, I think GUMIHO lives a little bit further away than most GSL players, but not exactly what you want. So Cyclone's going to lock down one of these Phoenix. Going to lift him up, though, and make sure that happens. But they're just going to fly over Marines, trying to get the Raven. And sure, you get the Raven, and normally that would be really good. Normally knocking the Raven down to defend against the push is fantastic. But now 3 Phoenix are incredibly low. Only 1 is healthy. And this is still a terrifying push. There's 1 shield battery here that's going to look to try to defend everything, and I think we're just going to see GUMIHO target the third base. This is a very hard game, an extremely hard game for Astrea to make happen, but if, you know, he's going to try to make something happen here. Force field's a little bit late, though, so we're not going to see the high ground, low ground thing. There we go. It's going to be a force field, kind of, but it doesn't really give you any value. It just delays a little bit. Allows you to hold on for just a moment as the Phoenix, they get locked on, and they don't go down. But this third base, it almost feels like what we can call an idiot magnet. Almost just feels like this thing that is like, okay, well, it buys me time. I'm going to cancel it. It's whatever. And Widow Mines! Oh, man, those Phoenix are so low anyways. Drop here, Widow Mine shot, and the natural. Astrea just not paying attention, so this gets 3 kills. Could have gotten a lot more, but a little bit of missed target there from GUMIHO. Now the Immortals are out on the map. I mean, this is just it, folks. GUMIHO's going to stim in. Shield battery recharge is powerful. It's not that powerful. Phoenix is starting to go down. Lifts on the Marauders are nice, of course, and you know it's actually doing a really good job of keeping these Phoenix alive. Look at his health go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. But the rally continues. Now Cyclones have really good lock on. Shield battery recharge is done. GUMIHO tanked the entirety of it, and Astrea in his first EPT Cup since moving to Korea. We'll put this one on jet lag. GUMIHO, 2-1.